So this is something I've been wanting to expound on for some time. I think this is a very important distinction for people to understand because most people plateau in their routines not necessarily because they're inconsistent or not necessarily because they're not applying the effort. It's just that they're consistently working out hard and not training hard. Let me explain. Working out is a generalized concept. Being active, exercising, doing the thing. Going to the gym, lifting weights, doing pull-ups, jumping rope, playing basketball, walking at the park, on-foot police chases, sandbag carrying small children away from the local playground, your local bum fight circuit, whatever keeps you active and moving your body. Engaging in these activities with some degree of ritualized frequency could be considered working out. The point is that there's a flexibility in how you engage in a broad spectrum of potential exercise modalities. So essentially, your protocol is designed by feels, or maybe even divine inspiration. If you decide to go to the gym, maybe you'll do some push-ups. 3 sets of 10 repetitions sounds about right. 3 sets of 10 must be some kind of certified standard, right? Maybe you'll get on the squat rack and try some squats. Squats, they look embarrassingly painful, so they gotta be good for something. But all shucks, all the squat racks are occupied. That must be a sign from above that you were meant to do bicep curls instead, or even better, just take a seat at the smoothie bar. Training is goal-oriented. Training is structured. It follows a plan of progressive overload, periodization, or skill development, not necessarily all three at the same time. Progressive overload, in layman's terms, is resistance training that gradually increases the reps and/or sets and/or weight of a particular exercise or set of exercises over time. The other two, while they have their place, are not nearly as important as this one. Plus, you can find tons of other videos on YouTube talking about those concepts. Progressive overload is an intrinsic aspect of training. When you're training, when you go to work your lower body today, you're not just going to do squats like you've been doing them the past 6 months. When you're training, you will have a long-term goal of, say, maybe being able to squat 315 pounds within 1 year. Maybe you're excited to see what your body would look like if it were strong enough to squat 315 pounds. After all, becoming stronger is often associated with muscle growth. Maybe you just want to be strong overall, and 315 pounds on a squat, that just seems like a really good number. And it'll make you feel good about yourself. After all, only about less than 5% of the population can actually squat that much. Citation needed. Whatever the reason, you have a specific emotive force like a tugboat propeller driving not just what you do inside the gym, but outside the gym as well. Last week, the most you ever squatted was 150 pounds, and by golly, you didn't die. Congratulations. In fact, it was even slightly easier than you initially thought it would be. So today you've decided to inch towards your goal subtly and intelligently by putting 5 to 10 pounds more on the barbell today, under the pretty safe assumption that you were unlikely to fold like an envelope under that weight just because you increased it by an amount equivalent to an infant child. Even if that means the next few days you might be walking like a newborn giraffe. Not only that, you're going to make sure that you get the necessary nutrition and the necessary rest so that you can come back and do that again for another exercise tomorrow, or a whole other set of exercises, or maybe, though unlikely, the same exercise, if not tomorrow, the next day, or the day after that, for a sustained period, ad nauseum, until you're squatting 315 pounds or meeting some other long-term exercise goal unrelated to that you've set for yourself. And if you don't reach 315 pounds within 1 year, that's okay. You keep inching towards that goal for as long as that goal is important to you, because it will remain an emotive force propelling you to never be complacent with your exercise habits, at least in regards to the squats in this example. Do you see the difference? We do this weird thing where we move our body in a way that causes us suffering. Exercise, because it's a form of hygiene no different from taking a shower or brushing your teeth. You do this in whatever form you can mentally, socially, and physically tolerate at whatever degree of frequency you can mentally, socially, and physically tolerate. This is a necessity for everyone. You train your body when you want your body to change, and that requires your mindset to change as well. Now, I've got some unfortunate news for you. Your body doesn't want to change. All it wants to do is survive. And I've got even more news for you. It's already surviving, and it's been doing that just fine, but maybe in a less than ideal state. This is why people are often stuck in workout routines thinking that they're training when they're not. If we were to generate a basic Venn diagram of training versus working out with some of the basic ideas just discussed, it would likely look something like this. So as you can see, the difference here is clearly one of mindset. The same exercise with the same amount of load, the same amount of repetitions with the same amount of sets can be performed as part of a workout or as part of your training. With simply a shift in your mindset, how you execute the same patterns of movement can and will change. Not just that, But everything else outside the exercise and physical effort, rest and recovery, the nutrition, the mental foci and acuity necessary outside all the troglodytic displacement of loads and grunting are much more in play, the lifestyle factor. Now, I think I've done an okay job of being somewhat nuanced in this video, so it might actually surprise you to hear me say yes, I do think that one is better than the other. And you can probably guess which one. I think everyone should be doing some training to some degree. Now, let me be clear, just because I say everyone should be training does not mean that I do not think that working out does not have its place. Being too intentional all the time can suck the fun and vitality out of moving your body. Also, if you're a beginner, working out is probably preferable to training at the outset because newbie gains are a real thing. Going from doing nothing to doing something consistently alone is going to generate a lot of physical and mental progression for you in about 6 months to a year. So starting out with a training mindset too quickly could be detrimental depending on who you are. At the risk of sounding too much like a guru if I haven't already, balance is king. Or queen. Or both, or neither. Anyways, moderation is the best practice, and that only comes with a clear understanding of what your current goals are. Your most valuable goals are going to require more training time. Your less valuable goals, less so. I've been exercising regularly for a bit more than 15 years now. At this point, when it comes to training muscle growth, there's not much more for me to personally gain. As such, I do a lot of working out these days as opposed to training, but there's still plenty other things to train for. Things related to health and longevity being paramount for me. So training joint health and range of motion and exercises, flexibility, etc. Training to gain and or maintain strength. So I still lift heavy wherever I can until something starts to hurt and I have to dial things back a little bit. In a single session or even within a single set, I can be training one movement and just working out using another movement. There's a lot of nuance here. There's a million ways to skin a cat, and I have a lot of cat skins. Sorry, animal lovers. Well, that's all I've got for today. Please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments. Are you working out more these days or are you training? What do you prefer? Did you find these comments helpful? I'm an ASCM certified personal trainer with 10 plus years in the game, so if you're looking for some help with your training, please don't hesitate to contact me. Contact info can be found in the description. Thanks for watching.